Hello everyone, this is Iram from Alamkul and today we will be discussing about the changes of states of matter, and in the last class we already discussed the three states of matter, which was your solid, liquid and gas. And today we will be learning the changes of states of matter. So there are many changes of states of matter, just like change from a solid to liquid, or from liquid to gas, and again from gas to solid, or your solid to directly gas, if and here, and here the liquid is also not included. So we will go through with this. So here, what's this interconversion of states of matter? Let me erase this. So the states of matter are interconvertible. The phenomenon of change of matter from one state to another and back to the original by altering the condition of temperature and pressure is known as interconversion of states of matter. So what is interconversion of states of matter? That if any phenomenon is changing from one state to another state, let's say if liquid is changing from if solid is changing from a liquid, and again if a liquid changes back to solid, so this process is known as interconversion of states of matter. So this is classified into two types. First is your change in temperature, and second in change of pressure. Now these are very basic terms, so you have to remember what is fusion, or we can also say melting and melting point. So what is this? The process of conversion of a matter from solid to liquid, from solid to liquid. Agar if we are heating a water, or if we are, let's say, heat if you're melting a ice, so your ice is basically a solid, and if we will keep that ice at a room temperature, so obviously that ice will melt, and then the state of ice will be different, because firstly when the ice was your solid, so the state was your solid state. Now if at a room temperature I'm keeping, then the change of state will happen, and then your ice will convert it into a liquid state. So this is known as fusion or melting. Melting or fusion इसी को कहते हैं जब solid is converted into a liquid. Solid state to a liquid state is known as your fusion. So I'm writing over here also कि एक notes बन जाएगा. Solid into liquid is known as your fusion or melting state. Okay, easy. Solid to liquid is called a melting point. Example: melting point of ice is 0 degree or itna higher than the melting point of a substance, greater will be the force of attraction. If the melting point of a substance is greater, then the force of attraction is also of that particular particle is greater. Now boiling point. So the process of conversion of a matter from a liquid state to vapor state at a specific condition of temperature and pressure is called boiling. अब boiling मतलब क्या होता है? Boiling is basically starts from your at 100 degree Celsius. तो उसी को कहते हैं boiling. जब liquid state is converted into a vapor. When a liquid state is converted into vapor, जब भी हम लोग if we are heating a water, so the first state of that water is not your melting state, because after 100 degrees Celsius, at 100 degrees Celsius, the water is basically converting into a vapor. So when liquid is converted into vapor, so that process is known as what? Your boiling point. Boiling state or boiling point also we can write boiling point. ठीक है, ये vapor है. Okay. Now what is sublimation? The process of change of a solid state directly into a gaseous state without passing through the liquid state. अब इसमें क्या हो रहा है? Sublimation means when the solid is directly converting into a gas, and if your liquid is not included over here, so this process is known as your sublimation process. Example: your camphor, iodine, ammonium chloride, etc. So what is sublimation? When solid is directly converted into a gas, this process is known as sublimation. Okay, very simple. Now, vaporization is the process of conversion of a matter from its liquid state to gaseous state at some specific condition of your temperature and pressure. This is known as your vaporization. This is also very similar to your sublimation, but here of a specific condition of your temperature and pressure. That only these two terms only differs between your sublimation and vaporization. Now, what is freezing point? The process of conversion of matter from liquid to solid. अब अगर कोई भी एक पानी है normally, and if we kept that water in the fridge, then what will happen? The liquid state will convert into a solid state. वो ice बन गया है ना. So if liquid state is converting into a solid state, so this process is known as freezing point. Freezing point. Okay, liquid to solid, freezing point. What is condensation? The process of conversion of matter from its gaseous state to liquid state. Condensation मतलब क्या होता है? जब gaseous state से वो कहाँ हो जाए? Liquid state में हो जाए. So that process is known as your condensation process. So in chemistry, we have lots of process. What is your next process? Acha, this is the effects of change of temperature. So let me quickly revise this. Solid to liquid fusion. जैसे ice to water. Liquid to vapor, boiling point simple, you're from water to gaseous state. Solid to gas is your sublimation state. Liquid to solid, if we're keeping the water in the fridge, so that's a freezing point. And if directly from a gas to liquid, that process is known as your condensation process. Now, what is the effect of change of temperature? So here, see, this is your liquid, this is your solid liquid, and this is your gas. Now here, from solid to liquid, that process is known as fusion, right? When solid is converting into a liquid is known as fusion. See, when solid is converting into a liquid, that process is known as fusion. And when liquid is converting into a solid, that is also known as sublimation. Here, we already discussed, where is it? When liquid is, it's solidification. So when liquid is converting into a solid, that process is known as solidification. This is very important diagram. You have to remember this. When solid is converting into a gas, sublimation. And when gas is converting into back to solid, so this is known as desublimation. ठीक है, इसका उल्टा हो जाएगा. When liquid is converting into gas, vaporization. And when this is converting into liquid, so that is known as condensation. So this is very simple. Only you have to remember what is fusion, solidification, sublimation, condensation, like this. The last thing that I'm going to discuss, that scales of measuring in temperature. So this is also very important. With the help of these three formulas, you will get lots of numericals. So in the next lecture, we will discuss all the numericals based on these three formulas. So first, we will discuss the formulas. That here, the temperature on Kelvin scale is what? Temperature, this is very thick, है ना? तो यहाँ पर क्या है कि temperature on Kelvin scale is what? Temperature on Celsius scale plus 273.16. So this is when that when your Kelvin when your Celsius is given and you have to calculate the Kelvin, so you have to apply this formula. Okay. Temperature on Celsius scale, which is your temperature on Kelvin minus this. So when this is given and if this is asking, then you have to apply this formula. Temperature on Fahrenheit scale, the Celsius and the Fahrenheit temperature. So this is your formula. Fahrenheit, which is equals to 9 by 5 degrees Celsius plus 32. Just 1 minute, quickly we will revise this. The one numerical. See, convert the temperature of 450 Kelvin to Celsius scale. So this is asking that we have to convert it into a Celsius scale. So we have to go back on this formula and we have to check that which formula we have to apply. And this is asking that we have to convert it into a Celsius scale. So if this is asking that, then we will apply this formula. Celsius is equal to temperature on Kelvin minus this temperature. So here your see the same formula it's applying. Temperature on Celsius is equals to temperature on Kelvin minus this. Temperature on Kelvin is already given, which is a 450 Kelvin minus your this temperature. So you are getting this. So this much Celsius scale is there on that particular, the temperature is this much Celsius. So that's it. In the next lecture, we will discuss more numericals on this and we will go through some more theories, latent heat and all. Okay, till then keep watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.